Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round one of the league tournament that happened at Die Hard Games on February 1st, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play at whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge today, Thursday, February 15th at 6 p.m., and League Cup Saturday, February 24th at 11 a.m. Both Central Time, both at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events at the shop, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game. On the left, we have Roaring Moon. On the right, Toedscruel EX. Toedscruel EX is starting us off here with a Mew Mysterious Tail in the active spot. Mysterious Tail lets you look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and you could put an item card you find there into your hand, shuffle the rest back into the deck. I'm not sure if this deck plays Battle VIP Pass or not, but either way, an Earthen Vessel is found off of the Mysterious Tail. Okay, and then a Grass Energy is attached to the bench. Toedscruel, and things are passed over to our Roaring Moon player, who drops 2 Battle VIP Pass instantly. Did they even draw a card? No, I'm sure they did. Very good start here. As you all know, of the infamous Battle VIP Pass. You can only play that card on your first turn, but when you do, search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto the bench. So we're just going to fill up that bench very nicely here with a backup Roaring Moon EX, Squawkabilly EX, Morpeko with Free Retreat, and that Radiant Greninja. Very nice. Got all the homies down, ready to go. That Squawkabilly, of course, has that Squawk and Seize ability that can only be used during the first turn. There goes the Trekking Shoes coming down in pairs. You draw a card. You can keep that card or discard it and draw one more card. So just resolved a couple of those shoes there. Next is the infamous Pokestop. You discard the top 3 cards of your deck, and any items that are discarded go to your hand. So 1 card, Dark Energy, Battle VIP Pass, and Dark Patch. I'd say that's a pretty good Pokestop right there, assuming I got the cards right. Yep, because we want the Dark Energy in the discard pile for the Dark Patch, and we got that other VIP Pass that can only be played this turn, so might as well play it and get your Pokemon out of the deck and onto the field. That Darkrai V jumps right out of the deck, slides down into that 5th bench spot there. That, of course, evolves into Darkrai V-Star, adding a powerful V-Star ability to this deck. Next is the double cross switchers. That card, you have to play 2 of them at the same time. You have to play 2 cross switchers. When you do, it's basically like a Guzma. You bring up a opponent's Pokemon from the bench into the active spot of your choice, then you move one of your Pokemon from the bench to the active spot. It looks like that Toedscruel was targeted and brought into the active spot, and Morpeko on the darkness side was brought into the active spot with that Free Retreat, so that way the rest of the turn can be resolved. And let's see what else our darkness players got for us during this fire turn 1. Dark Patch, accelerating a darkness energy from the discard pile to a bench dark Pokemon. Start powering up that Roaring Moon. And Squawkabilly, Squawk and Seize being used. Discard the hand, draw 6 cards. Alright, there's a couple supporters and some playables in that hand, so not a bad Squawk and Seize, but really looking for this turn 1 attack, especially since the double cross switchers was used, but no, big miss there, passing things over to our Toedscruel player, who attaches an energy to the active Toedscruel evolves to Bibarel on the bench, and plays Iono. Supporter per turn, both players shuffle their hand, put it to the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards equal to their remaining prize cards. Both players getting 6 in this case. There's that Toedscruel EX. Yep, he's going to read it. We're going to read it. Toedscruel EX, Stage 1 Pokemon with 270 HP, has that protective Mycelium ability. Prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to all of your Pokemon that have energy attached. And its attack is Colony Rush 80 plus. This attack does 40 more damage for the attack costs 2 grass energy. It does 40 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon that has any grass energy, basic grass energy attached. So we basically want to use Cherim to flood the board with grass energy, and then start swinging with Toedscruel EX while providing some protection with that protective Mycelium. We'll get into Cherim's ability if it becomes relevant here, but an Artisan is the stadium put into play, countering that Pokestop. I imagine we're going to see that Artisan be used immediately. Artisan lets players search their deck for a non-rule box Pokemon to add to their bench. I imagine we'll see another Toedscruel here, or that Cherim's first form, Cherubi. Yes, I've got a page open with these cards that I'm referencing. I don't see this Toedscruel EX deck often. So yeah, that backup attacker, or backup basic Toedscruel put onto the bench there. And Bibarel uses its Industrious Incisors ability to draw up to 5 cards into the hand, and KO taken on that opposing Morpeko. I also failed to say this near the beginning. Our Darkness player may have a uphill battle to climb here, with most of their Pokemon being weak to grass. So that Morpeko definitely was KO'd there. Roaring Moon with the energy put into the active spot, and play resumes over on its side. I think I see that Darkrai V-Star has the top deck, and that evolves on the bench, so that's good. We could talk about Darkrai V-Star right quick. 270 HP, it has the Dark Pulse attack for 2 colorless energy. 30 plus, this attack does 30 more damage for each darkness energy attached to all your Pokemon. So pretty good secondary attacker here, but I think it's primarily in here for its V-Star power ability, Star Abyss. During your turn, you may put up to 2 item cards from your discard pile to your hand. So we'll have to watch out for that, as we see a Radiant Greninja concealed cards being used here to discard an energy and draw 2 more cards. I've seen a Dark Patch and something else. So I wonder if this, I was almost called it Salamence, if this Roaring Moon should have been left on the bench here, since it had the energy attached, just a little easier to get to fully powered up. Of course, we need that pivot as well, but let's see what our player can manufacture. Placing down that Pokestop and hitting the Pokestop, discarding the top 3. Oh, not too bad. 2 items hit off of there. The Lumineon stinks to go away, but not the end of the world, let's just say. A couple more item cards added to the hand there, and the deck gone into a bit deeper. And let's see what our Roaring Moon player is thinking for the rest of this turn. I'm not sure if they play the Galarian Moltres V or not, but going to start out with a Dark Patch to accelerate from the discard pile Darkness Energy to that Darkrai V-Star on the bench. Next is a Super Rod. Going to shuffle back in that Lumineon and a Morpeko from the discard pile to the deck. So, still not punished for Pokestop in the Lumineon. Or should I say, especially not punished. Okay, we're bringing some cards to the front of the hand, considering what's our next best move. Ultra Ball does get you the Lumineon. Yep, and that could be played to find a supporter in this supporter list hand. At least I don't think I see a supporter. Yeah, Ultra Ball will be used to easily discard that Battle VIP pass that can't be played, as well as the Lost Vacuum. The deck is now being searched. Yep, most likely for that Luminion to grab a supporter. I seen that other card there. Another one that you have to play two of. I cannot remember what the heck it's called, but if it becomes relevant, we'll take a look at it, research it in the professor's lab. All right, so that Ultra Ball finds the Luminion. Luminion is put onto the bench, activating its Luminous Sign ability, which allows you to search your deck for a supporter card to add to your hand. That boss's orders being the supporter of choice. And let's see who the boss's order targets this time. 2 turns of gusting in a row. Probably a boss stall. Yeah, boss's orders brings that Bibarro to retreat into the active spot on the opponent's side of the field and crossing their fingers and passing. Level Ball immediately played on Toedscruel's side to search the deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. We see that Cherubi being grabbed there. I think that's what its name is. Yep. Cherubi is grabbed and put onto the bench. Very good item card we have in the format here. I think that's rotating actually. Toedscruel EX evolved onto the bench and grass energy attached to it. Bibarro uses Industrious Incisors to draw a card. Another Toedscruel is found. And next, a Professor's Research is played as a supporter per turn, discarding the hand, drawing 7 fresh new cards. Sometimes you just gotta let it all go. Start fresh. I see the escape rope at the end of that hand, so we've got a way to get out of the active spot. Everything just seeming to go right for our Toedscruel player here. Starting off with having type advantage. Just goes from there. And our players going through the hand, making sure they play the next best card, which is Escape Rope. The opponent chooses a Pokemon from the bench to promote into the active spot first, then the Escape Rope player does. So let's see who our opponent promotes. Probably just the one prizer, probably the Greninja. No, but actually going to go for the Squawkabilly. Okay. Mew on the other side is put into the active spot with that Mysterious Tail ability, which it uses to look at the top 6 and go item hunting. I think there was energy attached for turn, right? So we don't have the attach retreat on the Mew. Let's see what our player is putting together here, finding a Battle VIP pass off of that Mysterious Tail. Mostly just to be used as Ultra Ball fodder or something like that for the rest of the game. They did not promote their attacker, so they must have a way to get out of the active spot in hand. Alright, Ultra Ball discarding a couple cards to search the deck for a Pokemon card. That Cherrim being found here. Cherrim has a Spring Bloom ability. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a grass energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon that doesn't have a rule box. Don't think it can be evolved this turn, so passing things over. Interesting. To our Darkness player. My guess is they are fine with this. The grass player's fine with this just to build up their board and have a solid presence for the end game, since they have type advantage against the opponent. But who knows? I'm just chilling in the professor's lab, watching some people play Pokemon. Looks like a concealed cards off of that Radiant Greninja was used over on our Darkness side here to draw a couple cards for the start of the turn. That Morpeko being found again. And that was the only one I caught. Next is the Pokestop. Let's see what it gives us. A couple item cards and discarding a Pokestop. Not bad. Take the shoes and a dark patch. Activate the shoes, draw a card. Gonna keep that Pokestop. Not gonna discard it and draw one more card thanks to the trekking shoes. So there is a stadium for next turn if needed, if the opponent counters it. Our players taking a look through the discard pile, seeing what's been played, what resources they may have available to better inform their next move here. They need to power up an attacker and get out of the active spot, I guess. Just kind of tough, though, when all your attackers are weak to grass, because sure, you take the KO and get a prize, but you know what's waiting on the bench on the opponent's side. Can't quite tell what that card is there. Oh, what's it called? Earthen Vessel being played here. To discard a card, search the deck for up to 2 basic energy to add to the hand, 2 darkness energy found and put into the hand here. And now our V-Star power is activated with the flip of the V-Star marker. Star Abyss, remember, on Darkrai V-Star. Put 2 item cards from your discard pile into your hand. Looks like Ultra Ball is one of the target. My mind goes to straight up double Dark Patch, but Ultra Ball, and man, what is that other card there? Transceiver, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and travel in some time and look that card up so I can let you guys know what it is. Okay, it's actually Crossceiver we got there. You must play 2 Crossceivers at once. This effect works 1 time for 2 cards, kind of similar to Cross Switcher. When you play 2 of them, put a Pokemon or a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand. Okay, so Ultra Ball being resolved here first, discarding a couple Darkness Energy to search the deck for a Pokemon card. Could be a basic, stage 5, any Pokemon card, but actually going to fail. Really just using that to get the Darkness Energy in the discard pile just where our Darkness player wants them. Next is a Dark Patch, accelerating one of those from the discard to that Darkrai V-Star. Next, double Crossceiver will be played. Our player's looking at the discard pile for a supporter, there we go, to add to the hand. Professor Sada's Vitality being chosen. That supporter says choose up to 2 of your ancient Pokemon and attach a basic energy card from your discard pile to each of them. If you attach any energy this way, draw 3 cards. So I see a couple of ancient Roaring Moon sitting on the bench, ready to get their energy accelerated. Thanks, Professor Sada. Plus, we get to draw 3 cards. Okay. We're moving forward with this turn. 2 more darkness than Professor Sada's found. Escape Rope, it looks like. Remember, that one has the opponent promote a new active first. Then the Escape Rope player does the same. Toedscruel put into the active spot. Roaring Moon with 2 energy moved into the active spot. Energy attached to that Roaring Moon. It's fully powered up and ready to go. That can easily take the KO on the opposing Toedscruel with the Calamity Storm, 100 damage. And our players debating if they want to discard that Stadium in play for more damage. It's good to discard the Stadium to not give your opponent access to it, especially if you have one in hand. But at this point, it seems like that doesn't really matter to our player here, so just going to have play resume over on the grass side. That Cheerum evolved onto the bench. There, it's really ready to accelerate energy with Spring Bloom. Energy attached per turn to that secondary Toedscruel EX, since of course Cheerum's Spring Bloom can only accelerate to non-Roblox Pokemon. Energy Retrieval being played now to bring back from the discard pile to the hand up to 2 basic energy, 2 grass found there. Now Cheerum's accelerating energy to the board, to those non-Roblox Pokemon, fueling that Toedscruel EX attack, Colony Rush. I'm sure we've got enough for the KO here, especially with weakness, but not before an Earthen Vessel, getting rid of the non-EX Toedscruel to search the deck for 2 grass energy and add to the hand. Toedscruel EX, Colony Rush, 80 plus, 40 more for each bench that has grass attached. 1, 2, 3, 12, 200 damage, 200 base damage from that Toedscruel EX. Looks like Industrious Incisors off of that Bibarel is being used here to drop to 5. Level Ball being played now to search the deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less. There's that Toedscruel again, hitting the bench. Energy accelerated to it as well with Cheerum's ability. Now we're doing 240 base damage with Colony Rush times 2 on that Grass Week Roaring Moon, taking the KO and 2 more prizes. Not looking good for a Roaring Moon player. Never feels good to face direct weakness, right? Radiant Greninja put into the active spot and play resumes over on this side of the darkness. Let's see if we could at least get a KO here. Starting things off with concealed cards, discarding energy, drawing 2 cards. I see the double cross switcher, but I mean, you really want to KO the active. Knocking out the Cheerum or the Bibarel is interesting, but first going to go for a Pokestop. 2 hits off of that Pokestop, Earthen Vessel and Cross Seaver. Professor Sada's going away, sadly. I don't know if I see another supporter in hand, but let's see, double Cross Seaver being played here to bring from the discard pile a Roaring Moon back to the hand, and it rejoins the party on the bench instantly. Professor Sada's already in hand, so not too bad here. That's actually going to get played here to accelerate an energy to each of those Roaring Moon from the discard pile and drawing 3 more cards. Yeah, we just want to get the Roaring Moon powered up so that way it can take a KO on the opposing Toedscruel. Dark Patch accelerates another darkness energy from the discard to the Roaring Moon on the bench. Energy attached from hand, fully powering up one of those Roaring Moon on the bench. We have the cross switcher. That's how we get the Roaring Moon into the active spot, but yeah, who's the target? I mean, you want to take out the attackers at this point because the opponent's board is built up already. That's going after the support Pokemon at this point might not be the best idea. But there we go, double cross switcher being played. There we go to bring up another Toedscruel EX. That allows the Darkrai V-Star to move into the active spot. And are we getting the KO with the Darkrai V-Star? Our players calculating after the move's been made. I'll let them figure it out. I guess I've kind of got to check too. Yeah, we're reversing the cross switcher because the KO was not on the board actually. So our players being good sports here, especially chilling on a league night, you know. No need to fix the board on the grass side because all that was targeted was an identical Toedscruel EX. Alright, let's see what our player decides to do. The grass player has 3 prizes left. I'm just going to pass over to our grass player. Now they could have taken the KO with a Roaring Moon, Frenzied Gouging, which is what I probably would have did, but it's just really not looking good as a third Toedscruel EX gets evolved onto the bench there. Now, do we see anything like Boss's Orders in order to target a 2 prize Pokemon on the opponent's side? Now, looks like our opponent is going to concede. I think there were 3 prizes left for our grass player. But yeah, it looks like our opponent's just going to concede with that board built up already with weakness on me. You got it, man. Good game. What'd you guys think of this video and the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.